All right, hello and welcome to week 2, day 2 of the League of Legends Amateur Summoners Tournament. We apologize for the delay. Had some internet service providers being, internet service providers and crapping out on us. But we are now live and all set to bring you the action. We have 2 games for you tonight. First matchup is going to be Katsuo versus Oblivion. And this is going to be our first look at Oblivion here, so I'm definitely excited to see what they're going to bring to the table, as they're the only team that we have not seen a game from yet. So hopefully we will be getting on into the game soon. Just as per usual, I am Tasty Bacon, joined tonight by Cyber Owl.
Yo, hoot, 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 hoot.
And we are going to be hopefully getting on in just a moment. And waiting to hear word from our streamer that they're going to be able to get themselves on in and have everything all set.
Read the chat.
I see it. Katsuo had 2 different logos, but it was requested from a couple of people that had seen it that a different one was used due to it was actually being colorblind. He wasn't able to actually read any part of it, so it had to be changed. All right, here we go. Our cameraman has gotten himself into the room at long last. Hashtag blame Bishop.
As usual.
So we apologize for the delay, but we are going to be getting the full game in for you. Not missing any action tonight, hopefully. We hope we won't have any further issues, because that would be really bad.
Indeed. So these 2 games that we're going to be having today, it's going to be Katsuo versus Oblivion and Warriors Anonymous versus Tech Gaming.
Yep, so we are now getting over to the picks and ban phase for the first matchup of the day. Katsuo going to be playing on the red side today, while it is going to be Oblivion on the blue side. And again, our first game that we've seen from Oblivion going to be running with Dimmed Shadow in the top lane, Tesk as their jungler, Dunazuka in the mid lane, Literal as their AD carry, and Quiznos as the support. And then meanwhile, over on the side of Katsuo, going to be Krigea Senpai is their usual top laner, but unfortunately he was not here today. It is Tyler656 going to be playing as their sub once again, but possibly filling a different role, as is going to be Saiyan Prince SS2, their usual jungler, back in the action. B-Boy Tricky 2J is their mid laner, Zenivia their AD carry, and Bobby Chan 1000 as their support. So, I'm excited to see Tyler656 come out again. He obviously made our play of the week last week, and with that 1v4 play on Jarvan, but Jarvan getting banned away as the first ban against him We do see it's also Lissandra, Ari, Sejuani, and Vi being taken off the board. We have to see what Katsuo wants to do with their last ban. And it's going to be Callista getting taken away. So I'm really interested to see if they're going to put Tyler in the jungle again, or if he's going to be top laning. Because again, it was Saiyan Prince had to be subbed out last week. And now Krigaya Senpai, their top laner from last week, is also being subbed away with Tyler filling those shoes. So see if Tyler's going to be in the jungle with Saiyan Prince filling in top, or if Saiyan Prince is taking back his jungle spot and Tyler's just going to be roaming that top lane. Only time will tell, as these players are waiting for the first pick here from Oblivion. Oblivion's first pick of the League of Legends Amateur Summoners Tournament.
Being able to do that, they have the
I'll stop making
capability of being able
references
to
to this
sell.
being their first game
You know, we're
shortly.
gonna roll out
I
this
promise.
rule set. We're going to roll
This is
out
going to be
these
Aurelia,
buildings. We're gonna
the
roll out-
first
But is that, like,
champion
really adding,
to
like,
be
we're
picked
gonna
up
add
here.
an entire, first-person shooter module to our game? I mean,
Of course,
we still have
Katsuo
games.
sitting at a
Well,
very,
you know,
very
they're
unfortunate
starting out
0-1
with the
after their
first-person
first
module,
matchup,
effectively, and
just
you know,
barely falling to the hands of Dreamek, who is now at 2-0. So definitely not a bad loss to be sitting to say. You know, at least they also won their next game type of thing. We'll see if they can pick up their first victory here. Both teams are actually looking for their first victory, obviously. So, going to be hovering over the Jinx and the Volibear for now. Wouldn't be too surprised if those two get locked in. Jinx being an extremely strong AD carry when it comes to the late game and pushing towers, getting objectives. Volibear just very tanky, but still having a lot of damage. However, it is going to be swapped over to that Amumu. So Jinx and Amumu, the first two pickups for Katsuo. Yeah, one more time, guys. It is actually Oblivion on the blue side and Katsuo on the red. The game lobby was made with Katsuo being on the left and Oblivion on the right, and that's why we had initially thought that it was going to be that way, but it is actually the opposite. Actually, an Ashe being picked up here. That's a really surprising pick to me. I mean, I can't recall the last time I've seen Ashe in a competitive game. But we are going to be seeing one here, along with that Lee Sin.
I mean, there might be a chance that they go back to doing the Ashe Zyra picks.
It could be. It very well could be.
So far between these two team compositions, we see that it's going to be pretty much a protect the Ashe composition, most likely coming out of Oblivion Gaming there. And Katsuo looking to really go for the if you fight me, I'm going to kill you composition, going with heavy duelists like Jax, Zed, and Jinx.
And not only that, but also a very high potential for a split push composition. Zed and Jax being two of the premier split pushers, right up there with the likes of Hecarim or Nasus as well. So definitely going to be looking to see probably trying to take a lot of towers and just have a big objective focus this game. And they have such good the ability to take out towers. Jax, Zed, and Jinx, they're really going to have to protect their lanes on the side of Oblivion if they're going to want to win this one.
Yeah, I'm going to definitely have to agree. I'm not too keen on the Leona Ashe personally. I feel like there's just not a lot of appeal there for such an immobile AD carry. I would have opted more for maybe Morgana or even Thresh for that matter. Just somebody who can really get them off of you rather than somebody who's going to have to go in to try and stop them. And if they cannot do that successfully, then it's a problem.
Yeah, it's like you mentioned, can be rather difficult. They are going to be very likely up against this if Braum comes through. Braum going to be able to really help protect the Jinx. Of course, putting up that unbreakable shield can prevent the Ashe arrow coming through. And I mean, obviously, it would still stun up Braum, but it can save Jinx's life very, very easily.
That is very true. Not only that, Braum could easily set up for a nice Zed death mark, and then a Mumu Curse of the Sad Mummy. If he's able to land the Glacial Fissure properly against the team of Oblivion. Since they really do not have too mobile of a team except for LeBlanc and Lee Sin.
Mm-hmm. And Aurelia to an extent, too.
Oh, and they actually switched that Braum pick over to Janna. Janna, I personally believe, is actually a lot better of a pick for their team. Throw a shield onto the Jinx or throw a shield onto the Zed or Jax, and they're just going to be outputting so much damage. Towers are going to be going down almost unbelievably fast because of the fact that they did go ahead with that Janna with such a very pushy kind of team.
Yeah, and I really do feel like, again, just there's going to be so much objective focus out of Katsuo that I'm really not sure if they're even going to be looking for too many full-on team fights, which you do have a Mumu for when that does happen, but I do like Oblivion's team fight potential a lot better. But of course, that's if we even end up seeing too many team fights. It's going to be a lot more focused on trying to catch people off guard, trying to find people in the middle of rotations, being out of position, and things like that. I feel is going to be where most of the kills this game are going to come from.
One thing that I believe is a little unfortunate is how Oblivion, they're doing the thing we don't like. It's all disorganized.
Yep, it's going to be Katsuo. Katsuo being very friendly, having that top jungle, mid, AD carry, and support, and actually swapping up the roles a bit, even more than I had originally thought, as it is going to be B-Boy Trickies, their usual mid laner, is going to be playing top, leaving Saiyan Prince to fill in his usual role in the mid, and then Tylor going to be subbing in, but playing in the mid lane this game. So a little bit of swapping around. Always really nice when you have players on your team that are able to be flexible enough to swap around like that. It gives you a lot of flexibility, and you don't have to worry quite as much about having to pull a sub in because you can just throw move people about and still have a solid team.
So between these two teams, which one do you think is going to come out with the win here?
This one's actually really tough to predict. If only because, again, I really do like Oblivion's team fight better, but I like the fact that Katsuo is going to be able. It's really just going to come down to if they can play the style that they want. If they can sit there and just keep split pushing and put pressure on one lane, and then all of a sudden rotate around and take down another tower while Oblivion's trying to answer that initial pressure. They can really just play mind games and work on getting towers down all across the map. I think they may have a little bit of difficulty actually cracking the inhibitor line once they get there, but up until that point, it's all going to rely on how well Oblivion's going to be able to answer the tower pressure that Katsuo has built up.
One thing I personally do not like about Oblivion's team composition stems from the fact that they did opt for such a squishy team. Aurelia starts off very squishy, usually going for maybe Triforce as her first item. And against a team that's so bursty, it's really hard for her that she can actually just go in and duel anyone on that team, because Aurelia is a fantastic duelist, yes. There's no question about that. But Jax, Zed, and Jinx are just better. So if the Aurelia doesn't play carefully enough, then it's going to really set Oblivion back quite a bit. Lee Sin hopefully will be able to counter jungle the Amumu very nicely and provide his team a lot of vision. That way they can keep track of the Amumu's movements. That way they know where exactly he's going to be going around the map and who exactly he's going to be going ahead and ganking.
Yeah, it's going to be something to keep an eye on as we are just about getting into the loading screen now. And take a look at the, of course, the summoner spells being very similar across the board. The only real difference that is the mid lane where Zed has Ignite, while LeBlanc opted to take an Exhaust. not a typical summoner spell in the mid lane, but when you're going up against the Zed, it makes a lot more sense than in any other situation because of the fact that as soon as he goes in with that death mark, you just throw down the exhaust and can drastically reduce the damage he's going to be doing in that burst. We do see it's going to be a Pool Party Leona, Marauder Ashe, Traditional Lee Sin, a Frostblade Aurelia, and the Mistletoe LeBlanc.
And on Katsuo, we see No Skin Jax, No Skin Amumu, Shockblade Zed, Firecracker Jinx, and No Skin Janna.
Pretty hefty skin advantage in the favor of Oblivion. Have to see if they can turn that into a victory on the Rift, though, as we are just getting loaded in, and we'll be moving over to Summoner's Rift in just a moment. All right. So we are onto the Rift now, and just waiting for everyone to actually show up. Here they come. The gates are down, or gates are up, I guess. It's a better way to put it. Champions are down.
The gates are open.
In 3 seconds. Now the gates are open, and everyone is going to be rushing their way out of their bases. Looks like everyone just kind of splitting up, so probably still going to be going another day or another game without any level 1 full-on fights.
Alright, looks like no really invade's going to be coming out here. Hell, not even some deep wards for the most part. You saw Lee Sin did go ahead and place a ward near the back of Amumu's blue buff, but I really highly doubt that he's actually going to go there too. And sorry there for those technical difficulties. We're going to get right back into the game here. Nothing really has happened yet except for some wards going out from Oblivion in Katsuo's jungle. And Katsuo just kind of sitting and waiting for the laning phase to start.
Lee Sin dancing in the walls. There's a couple of dance animations let you do that. Lee Sin and Jarvan, the two most prominent that come to mind.
Lee Sin with the map hacks.
Yeah, that's called that's the next level ganks, when you start dancing, so you're in the wall, someone walks by, they don't even see you, and then boom, you're jumping out of the wall at them. We're gonna see it one day. One day it'll happen.
That would be nice. if only you couldn't see health bars.
Right? That would make it really funny. But we are going to be watching as Jax and Aurelia just get some CS. A little bit of poke on each other. That's really going to be what's going to be happening for a little bit early on here, as none of these lanes I really don't feel have a super strong advantage over the other early on.
The only one that I could see that being the case is Zed versus LeBlanc in favor of Zed.
But even that, you're gonna wait. It's gonna take a couple of minutes, couple levels before that really starts to show up. Do see it's very even across the board right now, except for Jax being super aggressive in that top lane, as he's got that minion wave pushing in towards Aurelia. Everywhere else, the CS is just about even.
So for right now, I would say that the fact that there is very little pressure going out across the map, it's definitely in favor of Oblivion. They do have a better scaling team. It looks like the pause is going to come out here.
Yeah, it looks like it's a disconnect on one of the teams, so we are going to be just waiting for that to hopefully be sorted out. Maybe they've got the same ISP as our cameraman. However, you have to give credit to, I believe it was the Zed that disconnected. So give credit to LeBlanc for the sportsmanship. Opted to not. She noticed it. Opted to not just take the free kill. So I know makes LeBlanc a better man than I am. I would have, as soon as I thought that they were disconnected, would just all in and gotten that free kill. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry to anybody that I kill while they're disconnected, but it's all about that LP.
Even though you would somehow figure out a way to die to them when they're AFK.
I have seen it happen. I have actually seen people get kills while AFK because there's auto attacking.
It was hysterical. And this is why you leave auto attacking on for any of those cases when you AFK in the lane and you're just still hitting minions. Any champion gets close to you, you're just gonna be beating on them the whole time next.
Yeah, especially if you're playing an AD carry, you can get kills while disconnected. Extremely rarely, but hey, you never know. So again, some good sportsmanship from Oblivion to not take the free kill.
Oh, looks like this pause is going to be a little longer than we anticipated.
Leona from Quiznos from the side of Oblivion, saying that's no fun killing a carry if they can't squirm. I think they might be channeling their inner Warwick. It's only fun if they run type of situation. So, unfortunately, early game pause. Not really a whole lot to talk about. Nothing's really happened just yet. Pretty much just everyone farming back and forth.
Bacon, figure out a way to feed. Now, go.
Figure out a way to feed?
Yeah. You're good at that. Go.
I don't need to figure out ways to feed. I've got those locked down. Don't you worry about that. So again, just waiting on the pause. Hopefully they can get themselves reconnected and get any issues sorted out. Otherwise we will unfortunately have to deal with the repercussions. Alright, Zed is on his way back in. You see Amumu actually very low from his jungle. He should be able to kill the Krugs without any issue. Looks like we are actually going to be getting back into the game in just a moment here now. Everyone is getting back and just making sure everybody's ready. 95% on the Zed.
A summoner has reconnected.
Oh, and we're finally back into the game. So we're going to be seeing Leona actually doing quite nicely with this Ashe. She is sitting at 14 CS to the Jinx's 8. A little surprising. It just shows that literal,
Get it, but ting. They've got some great names. Literal, Quiznos, I love it.
But really?
Yes. It's a pun.
Esque. Dunazuka, Dimchat. Okay, the rest of them aren't.
Yeah, it's only the two. It's only Literal and Quiznos.
Darn.
It would have been great if they had 5 names that were just like wordplay names.
Guys, make it happen.
Yeah, someone needs to make a team where all 5 players have some kind of wordplay. Just name your team wordplay and just go. Guaranteed to reach number 1 in LCS fans' hearts.
Oh, and Leona going in with the Zenith Blade onto the Janna. Janna's going to be hit up by the arc shot from Ashe, but it's not going to do all that much damage. Janna's going to be safe there behind the Jinx, and another pause coming out here. Wonder what the reason is this time.
Boy. It's not Zed. We know that. We know it's not Zed this time.
Hashtag blame Tyler.
Nope, it's the top laner for Oblivion having a little bit of issue with his ping.
This is what happens when Tyler doesn't get Jarvan.
Evidently, that's what the Tyler just making sure that they have nice high ping numbers because of the fact that they banned away his Jarvan. So we will hopefully just be paused for a little bit longer as Dimmed Shadow tries to make sure his ping settles down. Looks like the readies might be coming out shortly, possibly, hopefully, maybe.
So, if there's one more pause, I expect to see First Blood in like 3 minutes. Just saying. And if not, I'll be upset. Apparently, he sounds like Bumblebee from Transformers.
A summoner has disconnected.
Alright, so hopefully he's going to just be restarting quickly and trying to get back into the game as soon as possible. What? What are you putting into? You know what? I'm not even gonna ask. I'm not even gonna ask.
Go ahead, try to read it, bro. Go ahead, try
I
to
did read it. I did read it, but that is just a little obnoxious.
The first person to decipher what I said in that hashtag will get a shout out from Tasty Bacon.
Alright, it's Tyler didn't get J4, so we asked Froggen to DDoS everyone, including his own team, Kappa. Boom! Get my own shout out. Tasty Bacon LLC, what up? This one's for you. This one's for you, bro.
Did you just hit your chest and point at the screen? I can imagine you just doing that right now.
I absolutely did.
Oh my god.
Hey, you gotta do something to fill the time when there's a pause. You know, everyone has their own ways.
How about karaoke?
No. How about no?
How about yes?
Oh boy. So hopefully we will be seeing Aurelia reconnecting Dimmed Shadow and we can get back to the action. Bit of a slow start for today's game because of the pauses. Oh boy, and now everyone's just putting it in chat. See what you started. Do you see what you started?
This is gonna be the new chat spam, and it's so long. I love it. You should check Twitter.
Everyone should check Twitter, actually. Everyone should go on to Twitter and follow at LolCyberOwl, at TastyBacon LLC, and at esportshq_LEC2. Those are the 3 most important Twitter handles that you could follow at this current moment in time.
And for those of you who couldn't quite catch that, this is the Twitter. These are the Twitter handles that you're going to be expecting to see. There we go. Oh God, everybody's spamming it.
All right, he's loading in now. Hopefully we'll be getting back to the action momentarily.
No, he's loading in now. He's loading in now.
A summoner has reconnected.
All right, looks like Summoner has reconnected, and we should be getting back to the action in just a few seconds.
Alright, looks like the readies are coming out. Are we gonna get back into this game? I hope we are!
All right, ready checks coming out. And there we go in 3, 2, 1, resumed. Alright, so we are going to be seeing Jack starting to actually rack up a pretty solid lead on CS in that top lane. Zed doing the same in the mid. Both of them having approximately a 15 CS lead over their opponent.
So, how do you think this game has been going so far? 5 minutes in. Oh, we see Leona going in with the Zenith Blade onto the Janna. Janna is one more auto attack away from that. Is First Blood going to go to Ashe? Yes, it is. First Blood going over to Ashe. Literal is going to be getting the kill. Lee Sin going in, missing with the Q there. Jinx is going to be under a tower. She's going to be giving Lee Sin a few auto attacks for safekeeping, and he is just going to go ahead and be forced to back off. And it looks like Jax and Aurelia are going to be duking it out in that top lane. Jax might be going down here. He's one more auto attack away from that. Is Aurelia going to go in and get it? No, he's actually safe under his tower there. Finally, a little bit of excitement. First Blood going over to Oblivion.
Yeah, both Jax and Aurelia using that flash in the top lane. Meanwhile, down the bottom, the First Blood going to be going over to the Ashe. And that's going to give her a nice lead when she does go back here. Actually, Jinx didn't recall herself. So, unless she does so... Oh, actually, mid lane not quite going to get a kill. But
So close.
Looks like Leona and Lee Sin going to be coming in.
Lee Sin going to be forcing the Zed to run through his own jungle, but Zed should actually be fine there. Amumu also there for a little bit of reinforcement. Amumu's fairly far behind, considering how he is still sitting at level 3 to Lee Sin's level 4. Lee Sin should be having level 5 not too soon either. And it looks like Aurelia going right back into the top lane. Another duel going on up here in the top lane. No, that's a very huge burst of damage coming out from Jax onto the Aurelia. Jax going to be dealing quite a bit of damage there. He's sitting only on a Vamp Scepter to Aurelia's crystalline flask there, so he's sitting quite strong compared to her, and he's just going to be forcing her to back off from that lane. And nice little trade up there in the top lane, forcing a flash out of Aurelia.
Yeah, definitely a solid trade for the Jax. Going to be forcing Aurelia to go back. Probably have to use that teleport, which Jax did already use himself, which is why he had that small item advantage. Aurelia going to be coming back with a Sheen, though. However, as we look towards the bottom lane, Jinx and Janna are going to have to be very careful. Ashe went back with that first Blood Gold and picked up a BF sword, while Jinx still has not gone back. She's only sitting on that Doran's Blade, so definitely going to need to keep an eye on that. If they pay attention to that item advantage, they should be going really aggressive onto this duo lane.
However, it's not to say that the Jinx doesn't have enough gold for a BF sword either. And that was a nice burst of damage there coming out from LeBlanc, full comboing that Zed through the minions. Zed is just going to be sitting all fine and dandy, though. He actually has a completed Brutalizer to LeBlanc's miscellaneous items.
Yeah, Jinx does have enough gold for that BF sword, so when she does recall, they will be even. But until she does recall, Ashe has a massive advantage in terms of damage, especially with that critical passive.
We see another duel going on here in the top lane. Amumu here is reinforcement as well. Irelia might be going down. Here's the Bandage Slash kind of out. The Bandage Slash does go out, and B-Boy Tricky DJ actually picking up the second kill of the game there in favor of Katsuo. He should be able to get the push in onto this tower, go back and get a healthy amount of items. He's sitting at 55 CS to Irelia's 41, but neither top laner has a teleport up, so Irelia going to be losing quite a bit of CS and experience there in the top lane.
Yeah, Jax is just going to shove that into the tower.
Oh, and Leona going in with the Zenith Blade onto the Janna, and the Enchanted Crystal Arrow comes out from the Ashe. Ashe is going to be doing quite a few damage from auto attacks, and she picks up the kill for herself there. Another kill going over to Oblivion. 2 kills on this Ashe now.
Yeah, and that's the huge difference that we were talking about, the damage difference between Ashe and Jinx. Ashe was just doing so much to the Leona, while Jinx really only got Ashe did so much to the Janna, while Jinx really only got the Leona to maybe a quarter health gone because she just has that Doran's Blade. And that's a huge damage difference. It's over 50 damage, well 50 damage just on the items. And then of course Ashe having a slight level advantage going into that as well. So really just I question the fact that Jinx hasn't gone back here, and now she could be in some trouble.
And we see Leona going again with the Zenith Blade onto the Jinx. Jinx is going to be taken extremely low here. The slow from the auto attacks of this Ashe are going to be doing quite a bit there. Jinx going to be forced to use her heal. She lands the zap onto the Leona. The Leona throws out the Solar Flare onto the Jinx and the Janna. And the Super Mega Death Rocket actually goes out onto Leona, but Amumu picks up the kill there for himself instead of the Jinx. Unfortunate there for the Jinx to not have gotten that kill.
Yeah, that definitely would have helped her out a lot in this lane. But just getting the assist is still going to be good for her. I don't like this decision. She still has not gone back. She needs to get back to base soon, I feel, to really keep her power spike even. Ashe just went back again and now has boots and that those brawler's gloves. So Jinx finally going to be making her first recall, sitting on almost 2,500 gold for that first back, and see what she does decide to pick up with that. I assume, yep, it's going to be a BF sword and a pickaxe.
Oh, a lot of damage going on. The Death Mark going in from the Zed, and the daggers, ethereal chains missing from the LeBlanc. However, Zed did take quite a lot of damage from that tower, and he's going to be going down to the Lee Sin, who just jumped over him with the Sonic Wave.
We also saw on the back end there, Amumu thought he had gotten the LeBlanc, but it was just the clone that he had grabbed. So, nice job by LeBlanc and Lee Sin teaming up for that kill. And LeBlanc being able to get out of there alive.
And it looks like Amumu going to be waiting out, catching this Irelia, roaming to try and get a ward. It's Irelia, Leona. I confuse these champions.
Who do you think you are, me?
I know, right? God, I should be better than this.
Ouch. Okay. I see how it is. I see how it is. We are going to be having, again, up in that top lane, Jax going to be rushing down that Blade of the Ruined King, while Aurelia obviously going to want to try and get her Trinity Force as early as possible.
Wow, a lot of damage coming out just from a few auto attacks from that Jax. And the empowered auto attacks coming out of him are doing a lot more damage than the Sheen procs that the Aurelia is getting onto him. But it looks like a lot of burst damage coming out from LeBlanc onto Zed. The moment those cooldowns are available, she just goes in on him immediately, every single time. However, that could also be to her detriment because she's going in, she's getting rid of her dedicated escape tool, and if she just does it at the wrong time while Amumu is there, it'll be very bad for her. Meanwhile, in the top lane, we see a little bit of a duel there, but Jack's just going to be smacking Aurelia away from him.
Yeah, right now, oh my goodness, Jax getting so much damage down by just jumping in. And thankfully for Aurelia, she has that Crystalline Flask to help her out. But Jax just continuously punishing her right now.
One thing that this Jax is doing, actually, he's waiting for every third auto attack to just use it on the Aurelia, making sure that that burst damage is as high as it possibly can be. One thing I'm surprised about, though, is the lack of dragons that we have seen from either side.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we're almost 13 minutes in.
Oh,
Both
we
teams
see
have
Zed
it
on the
boarded.
block going at it here. Is Zed going to go in on her? And the Ignite goes out as well as the Death Mark. That's going to be the kill going over to Zed. Is Zed going to be going down here to the Lee Sin? Quite possibly. He uses the Dragon's Rage to try and get the kill. No, it's not enough to secure the kill, and Amumu's going to be there to make sure Lee Sin doesn't follow any further. One kill going over to Katsuo there onto the Zed.
Lee Sin using his ultimate a little bit too early there. Thought he'd had enough to get the kill
Oh,
secured.
and in the top lane, we see Aurelia going in on the Jax, just clearing out the way, making him take a couple of tower shots as well. Jax is going to be trying to duel this Aurelia. I don't think that's quite the best idea there. And is Aurelia going to be able to pick up the kill here? Is he going to have enough time to wait for Counter-Strike? And the Counter-Strike is up. He's going to be able to start up on the tower, and the kill goes over to Aurelia, but Jax gets the return kill onto the Aurelia under the tower. Good job on that top laner of Katsuo to make sure he got out of there with at least Aurelia's life as well. One kill going over to each side.
Yeah, it was I was really surprised when he went in the first time after she had ulted him underneath the tower. But Jax, knowing his damage numbers, able to trade back and make it a 1-for-1 trade, which I believe right now is in his favor. They do both have their teleport up, but Jax being slightly ahead, so if he can get closer to finishing off his first item, it's going to do quite a lot for him as everyone's just kind of jumping around a bit in that jungle area. A lot of mobility from those three champions.
This LeBlanc is 46 CS behind the Zed, though.
And we've been seeing the results of that as Zed has been going super aggressive onto LeBlanc when he can. Almost every time that death mark is available, he's tried to jump in onto LeBlanc and get himself a kill.
I mean, in the same way, LeBlanc has just been going in with her W onto the Zed every single time. Whoa, a lot of damage going out onto LeBlanc this time. The Death Mark going to go out again. That's going to be a kill picked up for Tyler656 on the Zed. LeBlanc not doing so hot this game, only finishing a Seeker's Arm Guard. Zed already finishing with a Bilgewater Cutlass and a Brutalizer. Meanwhile, Jackson and Aurelia are going to be dueling out in the top lane. Amumu's going to be there in the top lane as well. He's going to land a Bandage Toss. He does manage to land. That's going to be another kill going to B-Boy Tricky 2J on that top lane Jax.
Yeah, Katsuo starting to look really good in these two solo lanes, top and mid. Amumu has been spending a lot of time up in this top lane, just really making sure that Jax gets himself ahead and that they shut down Aurelia, because Aurelia is one of those champions that if you can stop her early, it really does. It takes her so long to
and Leona going in with the Zenith Blade onto the Jinx, and that's going to be a nice solo flare combined with the Enchanted Crystal Arrow to both Jinx and Janna. Meanwhile, in the top lane, we see Jax going to be dueling it out with the Lee Sin. Jax might be able to get the kill here. Lee Sin's going to be forced to flash away. Amumu's going to be there on the backside. Is Lee Sin going to be able to get away? No, he has to use his Sonic Wave into a minion. Jax picking up the kill there, denying Lee the Amumu an assist though. Meanwhile, in the dot lane, we see Jinx going down very low here. The Janna should be able to go down here. The heal goes out from the Ashe, and Ashe picking up another kill for herself onto the Janna. Jinx going to be forced to back away, and that could be the tower push for Oblivion there in the bot lane.
Yeah, Jinx wanted to try and pick up a kill onto Ashe with that Super Mega Death Rocket, but Leona just took a small step forward, and it was just enough to block it from doing anything to Ashe. And so the bottom lane, really the only sort of area of solace here for Oblivion, as their solo laners have not been having the best of games. Right now, Zed going to be taking a little bit of harassment, but he knows he has the backup of Amumu and the fact that he just has such a big lead over the LeBlanc. I don't think he's going to be too worried. And now we see finally some pings going down over by the Dragon. Maybe if one of these teams might start looking towards it. Again, 17 minutes in, and no one has even attempted a dragon yet. This is really bizarre that that objective has just been completely ignored right now.
They're just scared of it, that's all.
I mean, it is a pretty big dragon, but
We see LeBlanc. She's right now, and the Death Mark is going to come out from the Zed. Zed's going to be caught up by the Lee Sin, though, and Lee Sin's going to miss with the Sonic Wave, and he's not going to be able to secure the kill there for his team, but that's going to be just a 1 minute cooldown used by the Zed. He's just going to go right back to his shadow. But LeBlanc, she was taken solo, and she's taken solo every single time. But the Zed with very nice timing to go in when she was zoomed. And in the bottom, we see the Zeta Blade coming out from the Leona onto the Jinx, and Jinx is going to be going down almost instantly there. The Janna's actually going to be able to escape, but she's going to be using the shield there to protect herself. Ashe going to be trying to save herself from the Mumu, and the Leona with a save onto the Ashe.
And again, this bottom lane for Oblivion is looking incredibly strong, but will it be enough to carry them through this game, because of the fact that they're going to have to deal with the fact that this Zed has so much CS, 2-1-0 on him, the Jax 4-1-0 with almost as much CS as that Zed has, so really going to be two incredibly strong champions that can jump onto the Ashe and make her life extremely difficult. So we do finally see a dragon getting picked up, almost stolen away. Nice effort from the Jinx, but not quite going to be able to get it.
Oh, and Zed going in again with the Death Mark. He's going to be able to secure the kill there onto the LeBlanc there. But we see the Aurelia picking up the shutdown onto the Zed. Is she going to be going down here as well to the Jax? No, Jax actually caught in a very bad position here. He's going to be stunned up by the Leona. Are they going to chase him any further under the tower, though? The Banish Toss does land, forcing a flash out of the Aurelia, but the Dragon's Rage comes out from Lee Sin onto a Mumu, knocking the Jax up as well, preventing them from getting the kill onto the Aurelia.
A really nice rotation there from Oblivion, moving both their support and their top laner and jungler in towards the mid lane in order to get that Zed shut down. They know that they need to focus on him, and the Jax also needs to be focused a bit as well, but much easier to collapse onto the mid lane than it is that top lane. So a nice job by them of picking up that kill. But we are going to be seeing another pause come out here as Tyler656 had himself some more connection issues.
I would say you guys just go ahead, get some popcorn, get some cookies, some milk, some soda. Kick back and relax. We're going to be waiting a little bit for this pause.
I don't know. I don't think I would want soda with milk.
You, sir, have not experienced life.
That just doesn't sound appetizing. Like, cookies and milk, awesome. I could totally get behind that. Popcorn and soda, awesome. I'll totally get behind that. But milk and soda, I just don't. No, that wouldn't mix very well.
Well, considering that's what I'm having right now.
Well, you're just weird. So that goes. That handles that.
I blame Bishop.
So do I. I think this is all Bishop's fault, and everybody should get on that bandwagon.
Hashtag blame Bishop. Make it trend on Twitter. If eventually it does end up trending on Twitter, I'm gonna laugh hysterically.
Well, only one way to make it happen is to start it off with just a simple tweet of hashtag blame Bishop.
All right, guys, here's what you're going to have to do here. You guys are going to have to go out and go send Tyler656 your internet. Go send him internet. Also, tell him to download some RAM while he's at it.
Download some RAM and purchase some megahertz. That's what he has to do. I believe that will fix his issues.
That will fix absolutely all of his issues.
So hopefully he will be able to connect shortly.
Remember, guys, send him all the internet you can, except if it's Comcast. We don't want Comcast.
I have Comcast.
We don't want Comcast.
I have Comcast by necessity, though, as that is the only ISP in my... Well, actually, no, we do have AT&T, or it's not AT&T anymore. It's a company that they sold it to. But Comcast is the fastest internet ISP in my area, so I am sort of forced into having them.
Yeah, I'm stuck using Optimum. I'd rather have Google Fiber.
I wish I had fiber. That would be... Like, I would be so happy. I can't even think of words to describe how happy I would be if I had Google Fiber.
A summoner has
Oh,
reconnected.
got the reconnect. Hopefully he'll be getting on back on in just a few seconds. Up. Looks like the game has been unpaused.
Yeah!
Not too long of a pause coming out that time. Always good. Makes everybody happy. See right now, really the tale of two halves of the map.
Hold on. Was that a visual glitch on my end? I saw Leona flash there, but her flash has been down for a while. Why did I see that?
I did not see Leona flash, so I don't know.
Man, my client loves glitching on me.
Apparently, as we do see LeBlanc actually roaming down to this bottom lane, looking for a lane gank from the mid laner. That's a new one,
But it's relatively telegraphed, though, when you really think about it. But LeBlanc going to be going out, and the huge burst of damage coming out from that team. Ashe picking up the kill onto the Jinx, and Leona securing the kill onto the Janna. That humongous burst of damage, combining the burst of LeBlanc and the solar flare of Leona, and the enchanted crystal arrow from Ashe. It was just an instant explosion of damage.
Yeah, there was absolutely nothing that Katsuo's bottom lane could have done there, as they were just gone in an instant. Well, Zed trying to be aggressive in this mid lane, while Lee Sin just covers for that roam that LeBlanc just made to the bottom. And the first tower of the game picked up there for Oblivion. And you can really just see they're focusing so much of their resources on getting this bottom lane ahead, and just going to be hoping that Ashe is going to have the ability to carry them through this game right now.
Uh-oh. Zed, you're going to have to be careful. He's going to go in with the death mark onto Lee Sin. Lee Sin should be able to go down here. Is the Dragon's Rage enough? The Dragon's Rage was not enough to make sure he stayed alive there. LeBlanc maybe going to be able to get the kill there. She does pick up the kill with the Sigil of Silence.
Yeah, LeBlanc starting to come back into this game a bit. She's picked up a few assists along the way, now getting herself a kill. She's still way behind in terms of CS, but if you can get enough kills and assists to get yourself back into the game, that's all you really need. And of course, with Aurelia going to be forever, working on getting herself stronger and stronger. She did put off buying that the Trinity Force, actually, sitting on just the Sheen still, and opted to get a Thornmail to help deal with that Jax. A very smart pickup, as there is a lot of auto attackers on the side of Katsuo with Jax, Zed, and Jinx.
Well, that may be so. She doesn't have enough HP that the 100 armor is really going to matter all that much. LeBlanc going in on the Jinx, but Jinx is going to be safe on the tower. Meanwhile, Jack's going to be caught in a very awkward spot here. She's going to be throwing out the Transcendent Blades. Is the Lee Sin going to be able to assist at all here? She's going to be slowing down the Jax. Jack's going to be throwing down the counter-strike. She's going to be forcing the Aurelia to stop chasing him, but meanwhile, Lee Sin's going to still be chasing him. He's going to throw out the Sonic Wave, and it's not going to land.
Swing and a miss from Lee Sin on that Sonic Wave. Jax able to escape the two-man gank. Blanc getting a lot of damage down by...
going out from the Zed. Is he going to get the kill there? That was a huge burst of damage. But no, LeBlanc is actually going to be able to survive again with just a sliver of health. The zap actually does land onto the Ashe. Jinx going to be taking a tower shot there for trouble as well. Meanwhile, Ashe is going to be just clearing that wave. So she should be just fine. Oh, God, hiccups. Milk and soda.
See, that's why you shouldn't drink milk and soda, right there.
Well, you know what? Blame Bishop. I blame Bishop for my hiccups.
Leona gonna go for a ride. She gets launched sky high.
Whee!
So right now, the way the game's shaping up, despite the fact that it looked like Katsuo was starting to really looking solid with their Jax and Zed getting far ahead, it's actually Oblivion that has the lead in kills and gold. Of course, they got that first dragon at approximately 18 minutes. The second dragon is going to be up in about 45 seconds. But right now, they do have that small lead. See if they can do anything with it. It's really, I feel like this is going to be, the way that this game's going, it's going to be all about just getting small little victories. Like, there's not going to be huge 5-0 wins coming out all the time. It's going to be a lot of very small wins that just slowly stack up, similar to what we saw in a couple of our games yesterday.
Yeah, that is going to be very true. I'm surprised how close of a game this is. This shows that these two have done the research on each other. Meanwhile, it looks like Leona might be caught out here in the jungle by the Amumu. Amumu just going to end up walking away, though. Surprised how low in terms of items he's actually sitting. He's only sitting on a completed Magus Enchanted Chilling Blade, as well as a Bami Cinder. Looks like Jack's going to be going in with the Counter-Strike onto the Aurelia. I don't think he wanted to be there because there was a LeBlanc there waiting in the wings as well. Meanwhile, Aurelia is going to be taken down with the Death Heart. Is she going to go down to the Ignite? No, but the shutdown on the Jax goes over to Lee Sin. Lee Sin might be going down here. He actually goes down to the Lee Sin. LeBlanc is going to be, to the Amumu rather. LeBlanc might be going down there as well. But Ashe picking up the kill onto the Janna. Slows coming out from the Ashe onto the Jinx, and the kill going over to the Leona onto the Jinx.
Yeah, it was a really nice solar flare from Leona. Even though it didn't come anywhere close to hitting the Jinx, it zoned her out. She wanted to try and get into that bush, but as soon as the solar flare started getting channeled down there, she knew she couldn't go in there or she would have gotten stunned up. So her only option was to walk back towards the Ashe, which was a losing fight for her. So even though the solar flare did not actually hit anybody, just using it to zone her and force the kill to be picked up for Ashe, and now we're gonna have a teleport,
coming in from the Leona, and the Ethereal Chain's gonna be landing onto the Amumu. Free kill going over to the LeBlanc. Meanwhile, they're gonna find a Zed there. The exhaust goes out from the Leona. He's gonna be able to just shadow step away. And it looks like the Jack's gonna be going a very awkward spot here. Literal going godlike here on that Ashe. 7-0-4.
Yeah, the damage coming out from this Ashe right now is absolutely incredible, and she just completely melted through Jax's hit points with just a couple of shots. And right now, it does look like Oblivion is starting to pull ahead as they're able to force a couple of fights. They're the ones actually picking up the people rotating and catching them out of position when it looked like that was going to be what Katsuo's goal was going to be. And so far, they're beating Katsuo at their own game, except they're grouping for these towers instead of doing the split push.
Yeah, one thing that Katsuo needs to sort of be wary of, the Ashe hasn't actually died yet because she hasn't had too much attention dedicated toward her except for one early game gank. And they're focusing so much on trying to catch the Aurelia, so much on trying to catch the LeBlanc, they're not fed. They aren't going to be the long-standing issue as the game progresses further and further. The Ashe is going to be the main issue.
Aurelia and Jax going to be duking it out. Aurelia picking up that tower, and then just going to be stunning Jax and walking away. But like you just said, it's the fact that Ashe was relatively ignored in that bottom lane. She was able to just pick up kill after kill, and now she's sitting at 7-0-4. With that, she's picked up over 11,000 gold, 2,000 more gold than anybody else in the entire game. She is so far ahead right now that she needs to be a focused target, but because she's Ashe and because of the team composition that Oblivion put together, it's incredibly difficult for anyone from Katsuo to get onto that back line and get to focus onto her.
Oh, and it looks like Amumu going to be caught in a very awkward spot here. He's going to get stunned up by Leona. Are they going to be able to chase any further onto him? No, but they are going to find a Janna. The Ethereal Chains does miss from the LeBlanc. Lee Sin's going to flash Sonic Wave, but it's not going to actually land. Enchanted Crystal Arrow coming out from the Ashe onto the Zed. Zed's going to be going with the Death Mark onto the Ashe. Is Ashe going to be able to survive here? No, shutdown on the Ashe goes over to the Zed. That's exactly what Katsuo needed. They needed somebody to go up and pick off the Ashe. But it looks like Jackson caught in a very awkward spot here. LeBlanc actually Zonia's in the perfect time. Aurelia picking up the kill onto the Jax here. Mumu should be going down here not too soon. And it looks like LeBlanc is going to go ahead and pick that up for herself. Leona going to be going in, using that Rando Endowment onto the Jinx. And the beautiful Monsoon from the Janna saving the Jinx. But Aurelia going to be taking the Janna for her troubles. Jinx lived for Janna's life.
Hashtag support life. It's Janna giving herself up so that her carry can survive. And while that was what Katsuo has to do in order to, send Zed down 1v1 that Ashe, because he's going to be able to do that all game. But unfortunately for them, Oblivion saw that Zed was down bottom and figured, all right, Zed's not there for this fight. Let's go in and get and have it, because he is one of the strongest characters for Katsuo, with the exception of Jax. So as soon as they knew that Zed was down bottom, they just went all in onto the fight that they had the opportunity for, and ended up coming out on top of that trade, I'd say.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree. And right now, This Ashe is just ridiculously fed, but she needs something like not brutalizer, a bloodthirster right now for her to really be able to survive in these fights because she has very little life still. She's only sitting on that Vamp Scepter, and it's just not enough to survive against the high burst coming out of Zed and Jax.
Yeah, I mean, again, if she stays with the team and is able to stay back and play safely and just poking, her damage out from the back lines, she should be fine. But we've seen so far she likes to kind of be off on her own and farming, and that's going to be risky because of the fact that Jax or Zed can just go down and jump on her. But
Meanwhile, looks like Amumu going to be caught out here in the jungle. All of the abilities being used onto him and literal picking up the kill onto the Amumu. Shutdown on the Aurelia actually going over to the Zed, the Deathmark picking up the kill there as well as the Ignite. Zed's going to be forced to really run away here, but it looks like he's going to be just fine. 1 kill each side. However, I would still say that Oblivion has the advantage since Ashe picked up the kill there and only Zed picked up the kill there for Katsuo.
Yeah, they got about 3 assists on that kill that onto Amumu, and then they also obviously getting the advantage by being able to push forward and pick up that inner tower, giving them a lead on towers now, 4-3, and of course being up 20-12 in kills and about 4,000 gold here. Oh, we're gonna have another.
Oh my gosh!
Nice job by Lee Sin, kicking Jax away as soon as he tried to jump in. Being like, no, we actually don't feel like fighting right now. Go away.
That Ashe took so much damage, though. Half her HP gone in 2 hits.
But that's why they're going to have to... She has to stay with the team at this point so that they can help protect her. Because if they protect her, they're going to be just fine in these team fights.
That is very true. And the Enchanted Crystal Arrow is actually going to be up in about 10-15 seconds or so. So once that is up, that's going to be a great opportunity for them to just go for another fight. That ability just being up is a humongous threat, especially against a team that relies on getting to your back line. If they're stuck and CC'd down for so long thanks to the Enchanted Crystal Arrow, it's going to be a big win for them. And it looks like Jack's going to be caught in a very awkward position here. Meanwhile, Mumu going to be taken very low here. Is he going to go down? Dunazuka picking up the kill there onto the Mumu. And it looks like Janna going to be caught out here as well. The auto attack's going out and Literal picking up another kill for herself. 9-1 and 5 for this Ashe. Absolutely amazing. Meanwhile, Zed going to be caught in a very awkward spot here. He's going to pop the Youmuu's and immediately use the death mark onto the LeBlanc. Is she going to go down? No, she actually manages to just barely live. That Zhonya saving her life. And there goes the Super Mega Death Rocket landing and getting the shutdown onto the LeBlanc. Teleport coming in from the Jax, and he's going to stop the dragon. He's going to throw out the counter strike right away. He's going to stun up 3 of them, but the Solar Flare goes out onto him. And Aurelia picking up the kill onto the Jax. Zed on the back line looks like he's going to try and pick up something here as well. He might be able to get something. Lee Sin is very low. Aurelia is Leona's very low, but the Ashe is here as well, so he's going to have to back off here before he gets too close and just gives another kill over to Oblivion.
Yeah, it's going to be the 3rd dragon being picked up by Oblivion, and they are just really starting to take control of this game. They let it go for long enough that they were able to get their damage stacked up. Ashe, got her damage built up. Aurelia, going to be connecting Crystal Arrow, and that is going to be Zed getting picked up. The long range Enchanted Crystal Arrow stunning for so long. Zed just unable to do anything about that one. But Aurelia got her in Trinity Force, got that Thornmail, so she's actually tanky while still having a good amount of damage. Lee Sin starting to build tanky. LeBlanc got her damage. It just went on for too long, and really Katsuo had to start pushing Oblivion around earlier than what they tried to, and it just didn't work out. They were winning those solo lanes, but despite the fact that Zed and Jax were ahead in their lanes, they didn't do anything with it. Oh, nope, not going to have a fight there. Possibly up top, though.
Oh, and the slow going out onto the Jax. Is the Aurelia going to be going in? She does go in with the chase, but it's not going to do all that much. Leona and Lee Sin going to be finding an Amumu there, roaming through the jungle. Is the Amumu going to go down here? Zenithblade goes out from the Aurelia, but she's going to be forced to back off as 3 members of Katsuo are there. However, 4 members of Oblivion here now, and 4 members of Katsuo up here now. Ashe is the only one missing there from Oblivion. And the Ethereal Chain's landing onto the Amumu. He's going to get stunned up, but that's really about it there. It looks like they're going to be motioning. Are they going to go for the Baron?
I would be extremely surprised if they did. Yeah,
That
no,
would've They could have snuck it.
that would have been one of the riskiest Baron calls I've ever seen. Here comes the Ashe ult, but just gonna slide through and
Bonk.
help Jinx in the face.
And Jinx is like, ow! What the hell just hit me?
And just walking back to base, being like, oh, okay, fine. Gonna get that damage healed up. That was actually a solid chunk of damage from that hitting too. But yeah, again, it was the fact that Katsuo they won those solo lanes early, but their solo laners were not able to move around and make any advantages happen from their leads. In fact, we had seen, actually, it was LeBlanc that was roaming around the most, and actually, we're going to have a fight here.
Oh, the Deathmark going out onto the Leona. Leona's going to go down here, but she's going to throw the Solar Flare as well. 2 kills going over to the Aurelia there, and Jax picking up a tower in the top lane. Zed picked up the kill onto the Leona. However, they need to go and stop this Jax from pushing that top lane. They will be able to get this tower here in the bot lane, though. Super Mega Death Rocket did go out, didn't get any kills, and there's going to be 3 members of Oblivion just walking away. That was 2 kills for 1 and 1 tower for 1 tower.
Yeah, so slight victory there for Oblivion in the grand scheme of things, but that right there is what Katsuo had to be doing about 10 minutes ago. They needed to be, letting one person split push while looking for and putting pressure on other lanes to force fights.
Oh, and Zed gonna be caught out there. Aurelia stunning him up and getting the kill for herself. Meanwhile, Jax is gonna be in a very bad spot. He's gonna get slowed over and over again. It's gonna be another kill going over to Aurelia, double kill going over to her. And now that Aurelia, having such a rough early game, is sitting at 10, 4, and 5.
Yeah, doing a good job thus far. And again, she had a pretty difficult start against that Jax. Jax was really bullying her around, but she never fell that far behind. She was behind in CS, but she was always kept herself relevant in terms of kills and assists. I believe, despite being down early, she was still sitting at like 2, 3, and 2 or something early on. So still had a decent enough game that she was able to stay relevant. And now, like you said, sitting at 10, 4, and 5. Almost as good of a score as that Ashe at 919, and again, it's the
Janna getting engaged on there by the Leona. Is she gonna die again?
It is just Leona though, so for now. But here comes the Ashe.
Wow!
Wow!
Deleted.
That spike damage. That was insane.
Deleted.
I just. What else can you say about it? That? Was one shot did about 3/4 of Janna's health. Just gone. It looks like actually Oblivion going to be looking to make the move over to... Oh, I thought maybe they would be going for Baron, but instead they want this Zed. Will he be able to recall in time? Nope.
Oh, Aurelia's going to find... Aurelia. LeBlanc's going to find him, but it looks like he's going to be going in with the Deathmark onto the Ashe. I don't really think that's going to do all that much. Ashe should be just fine there. Zed is going to be juking back and forth.
What a juke.
And nice jukes there from the Zed, making sure he got out of there alive. Leona is still chasing. She does have the Solar Flare, and it does land. LeBlanc, is she going to get the kill? And she does get the kill onto Tyler656. But 2 members of Katsuo are pushing down this mid lane now. 5 members dedicated to going ahead and taking down that Zed. So it's going to be a huge problem for them to go ahead and stop them from taking this inner inhibitor tower. Our Ashe going to get her GA popped here. Is the Jax going to be able to pick up the kill there? He gets a shutdown onto the Ashe. Aurelia picking up the kill onto Jax, but this is going to be an inhibitor going down from Oblivion. Good job on Katsuo, making sure that they actually rotated properly, get the objective over the kills.
And that's what I was talking about early on. Katsuo has the ability to do the split pushing. They just needed to actually... work into it, and they hadn't been doing it before, but look at what they just got off of that. They gave up 2 kills, ended up getting the shutdown onto the Ashe, picked up now 3 towers and an inhibitor. That is so worth it for Katsuo, and they just completely out-rotated and juked and outplayed, whatever you want to call it. They just completely outplayed Oblivion right there, making everyone go up top for that Zed. And then Jinx and Amumu just shoved down the mid lane. Janna.
Oh, and a nice dragon steal there from Oblivion there. That's 4 dragons over to them, and that's going to be a Sulfur coming out from Leona. Is she going to be able to get any more here? And And there goes the LeBlanc taking the kill onto the Amumu. Jinx is going to be the next target here. She's going to get slowed down by Dim Shadow, and Dim Shadow is now going to be legendary. 12, 4, and 5 on that Aurelia.
Yeah, and despite what they had just gotten such a huge amount of control on the map, they destroyed so many towers and that mid inhibitor, and then just the misplay at Dragon, and all of a sudden the control is right back over into Oblivion's hands.
Oh, Zed going in with the death mark onto the Aurelia. Aurelia is going to be dueling him there, and the shutdown going over to the Zed. And looks like Jack's going to be punching this Leona. And he looks to be trying to take the LeBlanc. That's not the right one! Look at the buff, Jax. Look at the buff.
Yeah, I was definitely could have seen the right LeBlanc there, but instead he gets that little extra gold was what he wanted. That was it. That was what he was going for. But again, now with Katsuo, everyone being up, Jax can start pushing up this bottom lane. He has that teleport. No, he does not have teleport. I'm sorry. I was looking at Aurelia's teleport, but
on the complete other side of the screen.
Yeah, I am aware, but I just saw a teleport that wasn't on cooldown, and things happen. Things are getting hectic in this game. Okay, I got confused. But we are going to be. But right now, Jackson, Janna pushing in this bottom lane pretty hard. They are going to have to back off though because there's no other pressure being applied at the moment. And Katsuo, they need to just avoid the full-on fights because every time they've had a full team fight, they have lost it pretty heavily. But anytime that they can get split pushing, force 3 to 4 members of Oblivion to have to deal with one person, and they've been able to get huge advantages off of doing that. Right now, Zed on the hunt for a Lee Sin, though.
And it looks like he's going to go ahead and find the death mark coming out from the Zed onto Lee Sin. Lee Sin's going to eat an enchanted crystal arrow. Or, sorry, Zed is going to eat it.
That's on the complete wrong team.
He stopped moving. Shut up.
And on next edition of Blast, Tasty Bacon gets punched by Cyber Owl. But we are going to be seeing. Looks like Oblivion wants to start up this Baron. Not too risky of a play right now because Zed being down, they know that that's a lot of damage. But there is still a good number of Katsuo members that can try and contest this. Jinx Rocket is not going to come in time though. Neither is that Tornado. But here comes Jax.
Jax going to be taken extremely low here. He's going to be almost instantly popped there by Oblivion Gaming there. And it looks like they're going to find a Janna there as well. Wow.
Yeah, definitely do not agree with the decision from Jax to jump in there. He was the only one there, and everyone was still had quite a bit of health. I mean, maybe they were trying to stall for the super minions pushing down the mid lane, but you have to be able to survive longer than that if that is going to be your plan, as it really just did not pay off at all. And again, Oblivion, when it comes to when they're grouped together as one, they're just so strong and so difficult to deal with. And Katsuo just constantly giving them these fights right now, and not really. They seem to be a little bit disorganized in terms of not being sure of when to go in, who to go in with, or things like that. I mean, even right now they're not together whatsoever, and it's not really a big issue at the moment because it's just going to be kind of waiting for Oblivion to push in, but they need to make something happen. Either try and split push and get an advantage that way, or just decide that they want to play turtle defense underneath one of these inhibitor towers.
Yeah, right now it's really Oblivion's game to lose at this point. They're 37-16, and it's 43 minutes into the game. Right now, it's a point of the game where they actually should be looking for fights since death timers are so long. They have a team that's tanky enough to survive a lot of an onslaught. They have Ashe with a GA that's already up again. Mm-hmm. And they have so much crowd control that they can win fights relatively easily as long as they go for it. And now that they have Baron, that makes it even more so.
Yeah, definitely going to be able to siege up this tower. Not the best of wave clear for Katsuo. And, we saw they had Zed in that top lane, but had to pull him back to help defend. They have a big minion wave building up for Oblivion in the bottom. So as that starts to crash into the inhibitor tower, You know, that could be what they're just waiting for. See if anybody from Katsuo goes over to try and defend that, or if they just rotate on down to it themselves. We'll have to see.
It looks like it's just going to be a little bit of a farm fest here.
Yeah, they're going to be looking for that 5th dragon. It is going to be up in about 30 seconds. And if they can pick this dragon up, that could be the kind of the final nail in the coffin here. It's so difficult to fight a team that has the aspect of the dragon buff. Sweepers going down all over the place, making sure there's no vision from Katsuo. They don't have a single ward in this area. You look at the map, and it's just blue wards all around Dragon area, and not a single speck of red down there.
Oh, and it looks like Dragon going to be showing his face like, rah!
Yeah, this is definitely going to go over to Oblivion. There's no one from Katsuo that can get down here to try and stop it. And that's aspect of the Dragon. This could be bad for Katsuo. They need to get back to their base. Oh, Zed might be getting caught out here. Nope, we'll be able to use the shadow to get away. But, nope.
John is going to be okay too. They're like, you know what? You've died 11 times. We'll let you live this time. Actually, that is a humongous factor right now. Janna died 11 times in that bot lane and really has only participated in 2 kills for her team.
Yeah, unfortunately, Janna is an extremely squishy support. So even when she's just going around trying to put wards down, if she just gets caught, it just gets absolutely deleted, as we've seen multiple times now, unfortunately for her. But if she can stay with the team when they start up, she's such a good disengage tool. If she's able to get that monsoon off after everyone tries to pile in. And actually, I'm kind of really surprised here to see Katsuo pushing out of their base fairly aggressively, and Oblivion not really doing anything about it, despite having that aspect of the dragon buff.
Main reason why Oblivion hasn't really been pushing out is look at the top lane. They needed to go and deal with that humongous minion wave, because Jax could go easily in the middle of a fight. Just go ahead, teleport over there, and go ahead and push it to becoming a base race.
I still think, I don't know, I would have preferred if Oblivion had just gone for it, because if Jax does that, you know, they've been proven already that they can win these fights so effectively.
Oh, and is Zed going with the death mark onto the Aurelia? Aurelia is going to be taken very low here. She might go down here. Is she going to survive? No! Couldn't lifesteal enough there. The minions taking her down. Zed picking up a kill there. And getting that aspect of the dragon buff removed from the Aurelia. That's a 70-second kill timer on each side.
Yeah, though you have to wonder who's more effective to their team, the Zed or the Aurelia. And I would have to say Zed. He's gotten 9 of the team's 17 kills. Over half of them are onto that champion. And it's without them having him, you know, there's still plenty of damage and tankiness from Oblivion without having Aurelia. Without having Zed, that is so much of Katsuo's damage just taken out of the fight. We'll have to see what they do decide to do. Everyone's still just really playing safely right now. Neither team wanting to make a mistake that could end up resulting in their Nexus falling.
That's true. However, the aspect of the dragon buff is going to be going away shortly. Looks like they're just waiting for the next Baron, actually.
Yeah, it
just
definitely
to buff
does
up those
seem that way.
minions to help them out in a fight if it does happen within the lane and not inside Katsuo's base.
Jack's gonna be going aggressive though.
Oh, and it's the Jack's going to be going down. Solar Flare going out onto the Jinx and Janna. However, not enough damage going out in that direction. Ash going to be chased down by the Jax. Is Jax going to be able to survive? He's actually going to be using the counter strike. He's going to probably pick up the kill there. He picks up a kill onto Lee Sin. However, Ash picks up the kill onto Jax. And looks like LeBlanc going to be picking up the kill onto the Jinx. Janna maybe going to be the next target here. Janna goes down to the Aurelia there. And it looks like Ash going to be going, taking a double kill onto the Amumu. That's 4 kills over in Oblivion's favor. And that should be the game.
Yeah, only Zed left to defend. He's not going to be able to take out all 4 members, unfortunately. And a big difference right there was as soon as Aurelia was up, she teleported into that fight, while Zed opted to go run over to the top lane to clear out minions, to defend an inner tower. If Zed had charged down the mid lane, he could have been involved in that fight, maybe helped turn it. I don't know if it would have been enough, but he was nowhere involved in that fight, and ended up going over to Oblivion, and now they're going to be picking up the victory here.
Is that gonna go down? Ace for the red team, or for the blue team there. Alright.
Yep. Oblivion picking up the ace at the last minute and picking up the victory in our first game of the day. Congratulations to Oblivion, going 1-0 now in the tournament, as that was their first game so far. And that was, again, Oblivion picking up the victory over Katsuo in Division B. So we are going to be taking a short break here, and when we come back, we are going to be bringing you our final game of the day. It's going to be Warriors Anonymous taking on Tech Gaming, an actual out-of-division matchup, as Warriors Anonymous is in Division B, while Tech Gaming is up in Division A. So make sure you stay tuned for the action to return right after this. Second game of the day. It's going to be Warriors Anonymous taking on Tech Gaming. I'm Tasty Bacon, joined by Cyber Owl, and we are going to be, actually, looks like they're already in the lobby and ready to go, and we'll be moving on over to the champion pick and ban phase in just a moment.
Alright, looks like they're just going to be reorganizing themselves here, and we should be getting this game underway shortly.
There we go. Got the last member from, I believe it is Tech Gaming, just joined in.
Yep. Well.
Rip Tech Gaming. There we go. Getting back on in there. All right, so we are going to be moving on over to the picks and ban phase in just a moment. We do see on Warriors Anonymous, it is top laner Moritis, jungler of Jack Sparrow 111, mid laner of It's Tigger, AD carry Fiddly, and the support of AKA Jay Chow.
And on Tech Gaming, we have Xanavek, Prescott, Fubabas, Cold Hearted Knight, and Lament of Dusk.
Both teams helping us out right now, and going to be in the order that we so love when teams go in. It's not a requirement, but oh boy, is it appreciated when it happens. We're being told how to pronounce players' names. My apologies. It is Moratis in the top lane. See, I knew a guy in college whose last name was Moriarty, and it was spelled very similarly. So that's why I was going with the Moritis. But it is Moratis, and I'm probably going to continue to mess it up. I do apologize. I will do my best, though.
Just report him.
Or blame Bishop. Blame Bishop for my pronunciations.
Nah. Hashtag blame bacon.
Nope. Definitely going to be hashtag blame Bishop. So we are, again, just waiting for readies to come out. And we will then be getting into our champion pick and ban phase. Warriors Anonymous versus Tech Gaming. Ha! Getting Moratis backing me up. In the chat. That unfortunately you guys can't see. Oh, looks like our streamer might be having...
Oh! Rip. Rip, 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 rip.
Guys, we are in the lobby right now. The game is still being made. Teams are getting organized. And once they are all set, we will be jumping on in.
Legat. Do you own a 99 Camaro?
I do not own a 99 Camaro.
Okay. Huh, apparently you can eat bacon raw since it's a cured meat. I didn't know that.
That is interesting. The more you know. There we go. Finally getting on into the pick and ban phase. Going to see Moratus, what he decides to ban off the table.
And looks like that first ban is actually going to go ahead and be Sejuani. So Sejuani obviously still that really high power, very powerful, high tier champion. And Irelia being the second ban, they're coming out of Tech Gaming. So between these teams, Urgot, well, okay, that's a ban. I still don't agree with it, but that's a ban.
I definitely agree with the Urgot ban. I think everyone should be banning Urgot at all times because it's pretty great.
I wholeheartedly disagree.
Well, you know what?
What?
Warriors Anonymous disagrees with you too, so.
Well, blah to you. So Orianna and Katarina being banned out here, two mid laners. Little surprised to see Katarina being banned out here. There's probably a targeted ban towards its Tigger. So we're curious to see what they're going to go ahead and go for that final ban. Is it going to be the Nidalee? No, it's going to be the Rek'Sai. Good choice.
Garen being hovered here for Moratus. Lock it in. Do it. Lock in that Garen. Win the battle for Demacia.
Don't lock in that Garen. Don't give him the satisfaction of locking in that Garen.
It's gonna be the Zac.
Yeah!
Still a good pick. I
Get
still
denied.
like the Zac.
Get denied.
You know, they still could pick up Garen. They've got 4 other picks that they could use on that Garen.
No.
Garen being one of my favorite champions in the game, if only because he was the first champion I ever played.
First champion I ever played was Ashe. Oh god, don't start shipping Garen and Darius in the chat, please. We wouldn't want that.
Garen X Darius. Oh boy.
Well, back to the pick and bans. We see Vi and Thresh being picked up here. Thresh, obviously, the very high engage and disengage support. High skill cap, very hard to be too terrible with Thresh. He's always good at every stage of the game. Vi, also a very high damage jungler, also can provide a lot of chain CC for her team, going in with the assault and battery, as well as the vault breaker, making sure that she just locks down a singular target so well. Ashe, yet again being picked in this tournament. Is she coming back into the meta too?
Apparently, as that's going to be our second Ashe of the day. 2 for 2 in Ashe being played on week 2, day 2. We are going to see the Nautilus being picked up. Nautilus and Zac, too, that really just kind of rampaged back into the meta over the last couple of patches, and they're going to be extremely difficult to deal with because they provide so much CC to the team out of either the support, jungle, or top roles.
Is that a yawn?
Nope.
Guys, all the shipping in chat, no. Why?
Diana and Jinx can get picked up very quickly there from Tech Gaming. And I have to say, their composition is a little bit kind of all over the place a bit. You know, nothing really, you look at it and you don't really see a clear defined sort of strategy between those champions. Whereas you look over on the side of Warriors Anonymous and you have a very clear CC lockdown team fight. Depending on what they add for these last two, actually it's going to be a Yasuo getting locked in. That's kind of surprising to me, but they do have quite a few knockups with Nautilus and Zac, so not actually that bad of a pick. Just Yasuo, kind of one of those champions that fell by the wayside not too long ago, and you haven't really seen much from him in recent patches. Oh, and there's the Garen! The Garen locked in!
Why? Why
Yes.
gives it the satisfaction?
Yes.
No. No.
Yes, we are getting a Garen.
No.
Oh,
No.
Warriors Anonymous playing the Garen.
No.
And just
No.
look at how tanky that team is, though.
No.
That is Garen, Nautilus, Zach. That is so tanky for those three. And then over on the red side for Tech Gaming, currently hovering over the Tarek.
Pick the Tarek.
Really? You don't want him to pick Garen, but you want him to pick Tarek.
Yes, I want them to brawl the
Oh
Jets.
my goodness, a Shen. There are just pocket picks coming out all over the place in this game. What is going on right now?
Oh man, it's gonna be an interesting game.
Oh boy, that it is. And we have about a little over 30 seconds for the teams to trade their champions around. And looks like, I was really hoping he was going to be bringing that Garen into the jungle. Maybe they still
actually,
have 20 seconds
Garen
to trade it.
Jungle, I'm not going to deny.
Like I said,
I
I
had
really
a Garen
wanted it to
jungle.
happen.
I had a Garen Jungle in a ranked game that I played, and it got ridiculously fed.
Yeah, I wanted it to happen. I wanted to see it, but they do trade it over. So that Zach's on the jungle. They have a couple seconds to trade it back. Maybe hit it.
Garen,
Yes, trade.
no.
Trade, yes. Oh, nope. He's not
Well,
going
so
to trade it
for the
back.
complete team composition, it's all Warriors Anonymous. We're going to see Garen up there in the top lane with Teleport, Jack Sparrow 111. It's Zach in the jungle. It's Tigger with Ignite in the mid lane as Yasuo, Fiddly, and AKA J-Cho in the bot lane as ADC and support respectively.
And over on Tech Gaming, it will be Zanivek on the Shen with Teleport and Flash. Prescott playing the Vi with that Smite Flash. An Ignite Flash for Fubas in on the Diana. And then Cold Hearted Knight and Lament of Dusk playing Jinx and Thresh for the AD carry and support, using Flash and Exhaust as their two non-smite summoner spells. So I'm looking forward to this one. Not only a Shen, a Garen, like this is going to be so much fun. I do have to say, I really like Blue Team's composition, just from having two separate knockups, three technically, to help Yasuo get those ultimates off, and so much CC. They have such a long CC train to bring to these fights that it's going to be very difficult for those carries of Tech Gaming to get involved. They do have a good amount of CC themselves with Shen, Vi, Thresh, and Diana. But the fact is that once it's really going to come down to who gets those CC trains off more effectively and who can start it off first. And I feel like that is where Warriors Anonymous has the advantage, because aside from the death sentence from Thresh, the Nautilus can engage from so far away. Zach can just go flying in from off the screen to get the engage going. They have a little bit more range on getting that CC train team fight started.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree. And one thing I actually really like coming out of Warriors Anonymous is the humongous impact that Garen has the potential of having against a team like Tech Gaming here. His ultimate is actually going to do very nicely against their team, because it scales off of how little HP they have. So if, let's just say, one of their tanks is actually getting taken very low, what can end up happening is he can just completely shut down a tank midway through a fight and just allow his team to snowball through the squishier members.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Or, for someone like Diana, who relies so heavily on getting those spells off, just go in and silence the Diana and really just kind of remove her from the fight effectively for a few seconds and give the team enough time to jump onto her. So it can work extremely well. We'll have to see if they can play to those strengths that we are spotting right now, and if they who is going to come out on top standing over the exploded Nexus when all is said and done. So we are getting over to that loading screen. And just a heads up, guys, the stream is going to have to be taken offline for just a second coming up and coming right back on to try and resolve a little bit of lag so that it will be a much better viewing experience for you when we get in-game. All right, we are back after that brief delay of having to reset the stream. Hopefully, everything is all nice and set for you viewers out there. We are still just going to be waiting to get onto the Rift, as here we go. Loading on in now. And no juggling of champions required on the scoreboard. That makes me a happy caster.
You know what makes me a happy caster?
What makes you a happy caster, Cyber?
When people organize in LCS order.
So basically exactly what I just said.
Yes.
All right, so the gates are down, and it is getting started off here as both teams rushing out of their base. Pings going down throughout the jungle. So all 5 members of Warriors Anonymous are together. We might be seeing them look for a fight. Could we be seeing our first full 5-man engage leading to a kill here at level 1? They're going to find the Diana. Is Nautilus going to be able to pull her in with the anchor? Cyber, are you all set to stream?
I actually am.
Ghost, you're